Today's video about can meat be harmful for elderly people. So first I want to ask you to download presentation of the text with the links so you can read it and go to the sources so to see that and to form your own opinion, because this what I'm doing, it's my opinion, it has maybe no value for you, but again, go to sources, read and make your opinion about the subject. Okay, then let's go. In the general direction of propaganda to limit and even prohibit the consumption of meat and animal products as food, one can single out publications on the danger of sulfur-containing amino acid methionine. Methionine, which is absolutely important amino acid, but okay, there are some publications like about danger of high level of homocysteine and in the blood, and homocysteine is a product of demethylation of the cleavage of the terminal group CH3 from the methionine and methionine amino acids. Obesity, neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's disease and cardiovascular diseases and kidney damage are always or sometimes associated with elevated homocysteine level in blood, according to publication you can read. And almost all degenerative disorders associated with chronic tissue inflammation and senile aging of the body, as well as autoimmune diseases, official medicine associates with an increased level of homocysteine in the blood. Accordingly, one can learn about such medical opinion and recommendations like can you imagine how much the product of its that methionine amino acid metabolism homocysteine will be increased is if a person starts to eat only meat and consume it in excessive quantities. This is why some patients are strongly advised by medical doctors to limit their intake of animal products. This is again official opinion of this medicine, and not my opinion, of course. So this you see methionine, this is the structure of this amino acid, and if we remove this terminal CH3 group, we will get homocysteine. Homocysteine, and okay, then other stuff we will this methionine. That's. Despite the lack of clinical trials on the effect of the reduction of the intake of sulfur-containing amino acids in humans, some researchers recommend following a vegan diet. For example, this publication, you can read it, is kind of scientific research. Let me remind you that veganism today is defined as a lifestyle in which all food of animal origin is excluded as much as possible from the diet. And an old publication, you can read it, states that limited methionine consumption decreases the rate of formation of reactive oxygen species, ROS, in mitochondria. Accordingly, in the opinion of the authors, such a limitation may allow to extend the lifespan or health span of humans. This conclusion was made on the basis of experiment with mice, in which both the calorie content of food and the calorie restriction, and it was a calorie restriction diet, and amount of protein in the diet were reduced, and the same time restricting the consumption of carbohydrates and fats in the diet of mice did not change the level of reactive oxygen species and oxidative stress in the liver of mice. Moreover, the authors of the publication expressed their opinion that average intake of proteins and therefore methionine in Western countries is much higher than necessary. Again, somehow the fact that when mice are on calorie restriction diet, they are losing fat, and that losing of fat, and also it works like to extend the lifespan and health span, and this was somehow just went out of attention of the authors. They say, oh, just okay, just we remove this methionine, and methionine is from meat, and and mice are not supposed to be carnivores, so they are not supposed to eat meat. So again, it has no relevance to humans. But anyway, this is the official opinion of some medical doctors, and so that's okay. And what else? Homocysteine is essential for the production of natural antioxidant glutathione. Glutathione is and also for the body detoxification. Decreased homocysteine level will result in decreased glutathione production and higher oxidative stress. This was another publication very different from previous. The amino acid homocysteine is synthesized from methionine by cleavage of the terminal methyl group, and homocysteine can be converted back to methionine using B vitamins and some donors of the CH3 groups. Over the course of a person's life, the level of homocysteine in the blood gradually increases from 5 to about 10 micromole per liter, and deficiency of the donors of the methyl group in the diet increases homocysteine level. It's obvious, okay? So getting additional methyl donors such as choline, vitamin B3, or betaine, or the 3-methyl TMG, 3-methyl glycine and glycine, 3-methyl glycine. This can decrease actually homocysteine level. It's quite obvious. And nicotinamide dietary supplement increases homocysteine level and decreases betaine concentration in blood. This is also obvious because the liver tries to excrete the nicotinamide from our blood, and then it is using these methyl groups. So it is, unfortunately, it works so. It's quite natural, but nicotinic acid works not so bad, and I always was insisting that combination of nicotinic acid and nicotinamide works the best instead of nicotinamide only, or other versions of vitamin B3 like nicotinamide riboside and nicotinamide mononucleotide. Okay, this is again, I consider only cheap versions of the vitamin B3, and then the nicotinic acid and nicotinamide combination are the best. So again, there was a research, and there was some measurements were done. Click on the reference, and then you will get that results. But also, I say that taking metformin can result in elevated levels of homocysteine. Other factors that potentially increase homocysteine level with smoking, alcohol, caffeine, and okay, then. But okay, we see this glutathione, and this is again absolutely vital antioxidant for us. It is can be produced in every cell, and it is absolutely necessary to eradicate this or reduce level of reactive oxygen species, and it consists of 3 amino acids, glycine and cysteine and glutamate. So you better mind that all these amino acids are necessary. Okay, then just again coming to methionine and homocysteine, and the supplement of choline and 3-methylglycine or betaine, which are donors of CH3 groups, are very helpful to keep the balance. Because the homocysteine can go back to methionine just by adding this terminal group. In rats, elevated homocysteine level may be reduced by supplementation with choline and betaine. So it is quite obvious again that if we get these donors of methyl group, we will get the balance. Also, the introduction of quercetin into the diet of rats reduced oxidative stress associated with high level of homocysteine. This is, I'm not quite sure how it works, but you can read the publications. This is a fact. But quercetin is quite good to improve our health, and I take it as a supplement. and it works together with vitamin 3. And the quercetin also have been shown to be effective in lowering serum homocysteine in rats which are getting a diet high in methionine amino acid in the diet. And addition, also interesting, that addition of creatine to the rat diet significantly reduce homocysteine. This is okay. I not have much to comment. Read the publication, but maybe it is good to include this creatine supplement to your list of the supplements. Dietary supplementation with antioxidants such as melatonin and vitamin E can prevent side effects associated with elevated homocysteine levels, increased testosterone levels, the sperm count, and mobility of this sperm cells in male rats. You can read the publication. And then also interesting that physical activity reduces the homocysteine level in rats. And again, instead of in recent video, Michael Lustgarten, he's just not a medical professional, but he's very active in this dietary supplements, and he demonstrated that his homocysteine level decreased from 12 to 8 micromole. It is micromole, not millimole, micromole per liter, when his dietary protein intake increased from 104 to 137. He is not on carnivore diet, and so it is quite modest amount of protein he consumes per day, and but even this increase of little bit more protein, it resulted in in reduction of homocysteine level. Why? Because again, meat has a lot of this choline. It contains choline, and choline is a methyl group donor, so it works good. So if you take exactly the meat, if you eat meat and then or eggs, better eggs or liver, then actually it is very, very helpful, and then your homocysteine level will increase, or pardon me, will decrease, so your health will be better. Okay, then also he said that the effect was greater in comparison with taking vitamins of group B, as it is widely recommended by doctors, B6, B9, B12. So instead of taking, or together with these vitamins, it's better to increase the amount of meat. This is conclusion you can make from his video and from his data. So quite opposite to recommendations of some medical doctors. So glutathione is an antioxidant produced by cells. It is composed of 3 amino acids, as I said: glutamine, glycine, and cysteine. And then glutathione is able to prevent damage to important cellular components caused by reactive oxygen species, such as free radicals, peroxides, lipid peroxide, and heavy metals. And our authors of publication, you can check, note that the glutathione levels are significantly reduced in the group of older people, age 41 to 69, compared to the level of glutathione in the group of younger people. The reason is for the decrease of this glutathione level include an increase in the production of reactive oxygen species during aging of the body, a decrease in the rate of synthesis of the glutathione due to deficiency of these important amino acids, cysteine and glycine. So these 2 amino acids which are absolutely important, and we can get it only from animal products. And then, okay, the publication, 2 publications demonstrate that glutathione deficiency in the elderly people occurs due to a noticeable decrease in the rate of the synthesis of this antioxidant, and they can taken supplements for 12 to 24 weeks of cysteine and glycine. You can see it's not very much, the doses, but it completely restored the synthesis and concentration of glutathione, and even reduced the level of oxidative stress. So this is how glutathione drops in age while aging. So not so much, but yet it is a problem. And then to supply of glycine and cysteine, or better take this N-acetylcysteine. This works better actually. It's N-acetylglycine, and yeah, then it is actually all connected. These amino acids are related to each other, and also glutamine. So then it made level of glutathione in all the people. Yeah, even after 2 weeks of the supplement, 2 weeks only, it made the level of glutathione production even higher than in young people. But when you stop supplements, then this gets back to low level of the glutathione. So you can read the publication. So, in my opinion, that elevated homocysteine levels are markers for degenerative and autoimmune disorders, not their cause. An increase in the intake of the toxins in the body and their accumulation with age, as well as the lack of sources of methyl groups in liver cells for detoxification of the body, leads to the fact that part of the sulfur-containing amino acid methionine, which is necessary for the cell to function, loses this methyl group. Then, therefore, the level of homocysteine in the blood is increased. So it is just reducing the consumption of animal products in old age extremely dangerous, since this amino acid, methionine, is necessary, absolutely necessary for the synthesis of all proteins. And please mind that our immune system works on proteins. So if we have not enough amount of this protein, animal food, animal products as food, we just cannot produce. Our immune system cannot work, and then this is a problem in old age, because we already immune system have overloaded with chronic inflammation and chronic diseases, and then we are getting some infections, and then immune system we just cannot function. And for a balanced diet, it is necessary to ensure the increased intake of choline with food. Yeah, choline is absolutely important. But again, if you eat meat and special organs, then it will be all balanced. Most choline can be obtained from the liver of animals and birds, and also other internal organs. And a lot of choline is in fatty meat and internal organs of animals, as I said, and also in bird eggs. Betaine, or 3-methylglycine, this is another name, is a metabolite of choline and can compensate for the deficiency of choline in food. So you can buy it. It's relatively easy to buy and not expensive supplement. So yeah, maybe better to combine all. But again, as I said, beef liver has the highest amount of choline. And just also meat with some fat, even lean meat with some amount of fat, not much fat. It has a lot of choline, it has a lot of methionine, but also other acids, amino acids, which are important for production of this glutathione, of the antioxidant. And eggs are very, very good. They are high in choline content, but also quite well in methionine and glycine, and glutamic acid, which works also instead maybe. And cheese, very good for consumption, but it has not so much choline, but so you better combine it with eggs or with liver. In older age, the acidity of gastric juice decreases, and therefore absorption of protein foods of animal origin decreases. This is a real problem. This is the origin of all the problems. I have already discussed in my videos that after eating a protein meal, it is absolutely necessary to either take 2-3 grams of citric acid or drink an appropriate amount of lemon juice to improve digestion. And it is also recommended to start your meal with strong meat broth or even better bone broth. And the bird, eggs, fish and poultry meat are digested more quickly and easier compared to red meat and collagen, so you may distribute your meals so that first you consume the bone broth and then some eggs or poultry or fish, and then afterwards, finally, you can eat some red meat. And I remind you that you need to shift completely to the diet of carnivores. It is again only my opinion. You can choose for yourself whatever you want, but it works for me at least. It works for me. And by no means do not combine carbohydrates and proteins in one meal. Again, if you are not on strict carnivore diet and if you yet consuming some carbohydrates, please separate them, because the digestion of carbohydrates and proteins is not compatible. So if you want to digest the meat or proteins, then you have to separate them, because it takes longer and it needs a higher concentration, higher acidity of gastric juice, and so it cannot be combined with carbohydrates, absolutely not. Or otherwise, decreased protein absorption is responsible for the decrease in the level of our body natural antioxidant glutathione, and with all consequences. And also due to protein deficiency, the immune system gets compromised. Of course, in case of severe or poor protein digestion, if you destroyed all your stomach with some medications to reduce acidity of the gastric juice, or you take baking soda, as some doctors may give such advice, then for this you can use amino acids as dietary supplement instead of meat, but meat of course always better, because together with amino acids you are getting choline and other important supplements and important substances which are absolutely necessary for our body to stay healthy. Another complication associated with poor protein digestion and low acidity of gastric juice is the ingress of undigested protein and harmful bacteria in the intestine. So your gastric juice is not acid enough to kill the bacteria and to digest the protein, then all this stuff will go to your colon, and then this harmful bacteria will produce toxins. Then in particular, gram-negative bacteria produce pro-inflammatory lipopolysaccharides, and especially this E. coli gram-negative. And then these lipopolysaccharides are very, very toxic substances. And then people will call it endotoxins. They may be involved in inflammatory and pathological process associated with neurodegenerative disorders. Okay, so you see the connection. So people consume some meat, but together with carbohydrates, and they are getting these toxic pathogens in the colon, which are producing these endotoxins, and then endotoxins are coming to your blood and then destroy all your body, and especially get chronic inflammation. And then who is blamed? That the meat is the problem. Or if you will exclude meat, then this harmful bacteria will not produce toxins. That's right. But if you separate meat from carbohydrates, it will work much better. Because you just be smart enough to do it. The production of endotoxins by gram-negative bacteria in colon dramatically increases the level of chronic inflammation in the body, disrupts the functioning of mitochondria, and leads to an increase in the production of reactive oxygen species in mitochondria. Okay? In response to the intake of toxins, macrophages release the pro-inflammatory signaling molecules CD38, because they try to stop these pathogens and these toxins, and they produce this CD38, and they are getting inflammation, local inflammation, but they can develop to chronic inflammation. And why? Because all your body try to fight these pathogens. pathogens and toxins to remove them from the body or to create this, to kill this bacteria. But increased level of CD38 leads to a decrease in the activity of sirtuins, in particular sirtuins and SIR1. And SIR1 is responsible for regulating gene expression and repairing the DNA damage. So when your body put all resources to fight the pathogens and to fight the toxins, of course, there is no resources more to repair your body. Also, macrophages are busy with to work with toxins and bacteria instead of killing your zombie cells. So your rate of your aging is accelerated and go exponential. And then, but who is blamed? Meat, of course. Oh yeah, it's meat. Meat is of course okay. It's okay. Just have no words. Okay, the rate of reactive oxygen species released in mitochondria is higher when burning glucose compared to burning fatty acids as an energy source, and an increase in the level of reactive oxygen species production together with decrease in the level of synthesis of this antioxidant leads to accumulation of lipofuscin in lysosomes and to decrease in the rate of autophagy and mitophagy. Mitophagy is the removal of damaged mitochondria. So you have more damaged mitochondria, and as a result, the efficiency of production of energy molecules ATP in mitochondria decreases. So the rate of reactive oxygen species increases. So it has chain reaction. And then dietary supplement, nicotinamide, and intake of metformin may be combined with intake of betaine and vitamin B6, B9, B12. Okay, then again, if you have chronic inflammation because of this, because you use carbohydrates as a source of energy, and you combine carbohydrates together with protein, and then it is not digested. So it is disaster. It is actually disaster. And accordingly, and then the rate of senile degeneration in the body increases. It's going exponential, and people live not long. For those elderly people who have already impaired gastrointestinal tract and poor protein digestion, so probably you was taking this baking soda or some medication to reduce the acidity of your gastric juice, then the only way, okay, I can only recommend taking following amino acids as a dietary supplement. This is glycine, cysteine, and creatine, and glutamine. And instead of cysteine, it is also convenient to use up to 2 grams of NAC or N-acetyl cysteine. This is very convenient, and it also works additionally better. So these supplements are absolutely necessary, especially during the period of the infectious diseases. Like now, your immune system needs these amino acids, or they need a protein source of amino acids to function. And if you have some shortage of this amino acids, then your immune system doesn't work, and you have a very high chance to die. As I mentioned in previous videos, the eating products from plant seeds lead to the leaky gut syndrome. That is, both toxins and endotoxins, these lipopolysaccharides, and even the bacteria themselves can enter the bloodstream through the endothelium layer in the intestinal membrane. The dietary supplement berberine acts as an antibacterial agent and helps to reduce production of toxins and the lipopolysaccharides in the colon. Therefore, for the elderly people, taking berberine works better than taking metformin. So if you are in old age, or you can combine, otherwise taking metformin can be combined with a supplement of berberine, as I do. And I can speculate that it is bactericidal, so it is antibacterial properties of the berberine. This ensures the extension of lifespan. So it was shown already that taking berberine extends lifespan. And why? Because they suppress these pathogens, development of the pathogens, and production of these toxins in the guts. Okay, so berberine is better than metformin for older people, but you can combine also. As we can see, some of the recommendations of official medicine can lead to the weakening of health and acceleration of senile degeneration of the patient body. Of course, mainstream medicine is a business of treating people's illnesses, business treating people's illnesses and reducing symptoms of illness instead of eliminating the very source of the illness. But I do not see any conspiracy behind it, because it is just, in my opinion, it is not a conspiracy, but it is a biological degeneration of humans as species. In particular, most people have already lost the ability to think critically and independently. The brain volume of modern people has decreased by no less than 75 cubic centimeter compared to Cro-Magnons. And since the middle of 70s, when these measurements started, IQ indicators dropped by average of 7 points for each next generation. So we are getting more stupid, we are getting close to apes. We degenerate back, devolve back. And I was already talking about the reasons of this degeneration in my old video, you can watch it. This is the accumulation of natural mutations in the absence of positive selection of individuals among humans. Moreover, we can rather talk about negative selection, that is, people with low intelligence have more children. But sooner or later we are coming to some no-return point when the positive selection of people should start working. And then I believe we are at this point that life is getting very dangerous, and if you cannot use your brain. Additionally, in the present day societies, young people consider older people as competitors or useless eaters. And the important factor in the current state of affairs in medicine and politics is the loss of Christian values on morality and the emergence of pagan cults such as global warming, Mother Nature, veganism, vegetarianism, and up to satanic cults of globalism, fascism, communism, Marxism, Maoism. Okay, then since satanic cults deny the immortal soul of man and the moral law within us, then the person's life in such conditions has neither purpose, no meaning, and no value. So not surprisingly that this adherents of these cults treat people as cattle, just as apes. And they intend to manage herds of humanoid animals through the fear and base instincts. This is what we see now. We are seeing now when violence and fear are used to enslave people. In comparison, and meanwhile, in comparison, Christianity relieves people from the fear of death, but forcing them to act within frame of moral norms. And as I am Christian, but I don't see any contradiction in my intention to extend my lifetime to 160 or even maybe 600 years. Even I have no fear of death, but yet it is like a scientific achievement for me if I would extend my lifespan for long. And again, even Bible teaches us that there were early patriarchs, they lived almost 1,000 years. But first of all, I want to ask the visitors of my channel to understand, why do you need a long life without diseases? Is your goal to become in the image of the God Creator himself, to live in some meaningful, productive and creative activity, or what? Then if you want to follow such ways, then the very extension of life will become a test of your ability to think independently in order to find the right solutions and implement them in your life. And first of all, you have to get rid of dogmas and restrictions of choosing or diet from that propaganda imposes on us. There are even biblical reasons for consuming animal products. You know that the story about Abel and Cain. And then Cain was a farmer, Abel was a sheepkeeper, and then the offering of Abel was positively respected, was respected by God, but this vegan diet doesn't work. Okay, it makes you not a human. It makes you very evil and even more. I don't know how much moral can suffer, but we see that vegans and veganists are very people, not nice people at all. Extension of healthy and fruitful life, and even more so, rejuvenation is your difficult personal choice. And our society not ready to extend the average life expectancy even to 100 years. And then, okay, that's, you can read it. And I have a video about super centenarian Jean Louise Kalman, Jean Louise Kalman, and she died in a nursing home. So when we were actually, she had a meaningful life, visiting church every day until age of 110. But then people moved her to a nursery house, and together with other people, that abandoned people who have no motivation to live long, and then in 12 years she just perished. And what I see is that if I try to help some people which are in very bad condition, but again they're not asking for help, but again I just have a pity, but probably it is wrong idea. But if I try, okay, I can give you some supplement for free, you try, maybe it will work for you. It will, the reply may be even aggression. So it is again, don't try to save people. Don't try, don't do it. Very few people want to live for very long and get no sick. Of course, we don't, anybody don't want to be sick, but such people who want to do something for this are very uncommon, maybe for among rich and educated people, but the rest of the humans, at the best, they would avoid to see the degeneration of the body, but not rely, but mostly they rely on medical insurance and propaganda, advices of the medical doctors. So leave them alone. Don't try to help them, because it just again has no sense. Okay, this is my opinion only, and it is only for educational properties, and you can educational purposes, pardon, and you can read the sources and form your own opinion. So I give references in the presentation. You just download and click on it and open it and read it yourself. Try to use your brain. It is absolutely important for survival. Okay. This is, I would tell you. And I'm not getting any benefits, even more, that I'm quite suffering from what I'm doing sometimes. Like I was expelled, my account was closed in LinkedIn Society. I don't know why, with no explanation, just I had about 1,000 subscribers, and my account was just closed. Maybe I was talking too much about vaccination, or I don't know. I have no idea, just they kicked me out. And but okay, if you have, thank you for watching the video, support my channel. Please comment, subscribe, like, ask questions, and share information. Again, it is all up to you. You decide how long will you live. You decide what should be meaningful, or your life, how it should be meaningful. To my opinion, without Christianity, it just doesn't work, okay, at all. So it's just impossible to survive. Also, Christianity, it is very important to have a community of people united against these governments and against violence. So try to, again, try to find people who who share your opinion and who can work together on this purpose. But again, it's not many, quite few people can do it. Okay, so have a wonderful day. Ciao. See you next time.